Hello Aries, this is your year ahead reading for 2022. Keep in mind these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate. But before we get into the energy of 2022, I want to pull a few cards to close out 2021. So let's pull one astro card to summarize what lessons you learned or what the focus was for you in 2021. So you're getting the 8th house, and that is the house of transformation. So you might have been going through major lessons in 2021 that pushed you to really shed your old skin and become a new version of yourself. Let's see now what challenged you in 2021 and what was a highlight for you in 2021. So it looks like, okay, so what you're getting here is the High Priestess for what is challenging you. And your highlight here is the Page of Wands. So when I'm seeing these three cards together and seeing the High Priestess being your challenge, what was difficult for you in 2021 was really shifting out of your analytical mind and leaning more towards your intuition, your gut feeling. There was, it's like you had a hard time trusting yourself, trusting your judgment, trusting your decisions. But I feel that, yet while this was a struggle for you in 2021, it also was something that you needed to work through to get to this point of the transformation, to get to this point of finally understanding yourself and accepting yourself at a more deeper level. Because here with your highlight here with the Page of Wands, it's like you were more assertive. You tried new things. You took risks. So in a way, you did have moments where you surrendered. Okay, so let me go back to your reading. Yeah, so with the Page of Wands, you took risks, you were assertive, you started things, you tried new things. You just allowed your inner fire, you allowed your inner spirit to kind of take you to doing something new, and just allowed yourself to try, right? And part of that is surrendering to your intuition. So even though, yes, you did struggle with this a little bit, it did kind of help you get to this point and at the end of the day transform into the version that you are right now. So I feel that there is a lot of excitement going into 2022 because you may feel more confident in how you want to show up. You may have a clearer vision in how you want to operate in 2022. So let's pull a few cards to see what energies you're needing to release in 2021 before you enter into 2022. So what energies do you need to release from 2021, or that you're working to release right now? you are getting change, loneliness, and service. So what you're letting go of is that fear. That fear that the fear of change, obviously, right? It says right there. Because there was a certain point in time in 2021 where there was a bit of grief for what you knew you had to let go of, the comfort of what you knew, right? But in doing so, in having the courage to try, I think you're working your way out of the holding on to the past. I think one of the reasons why you were maybe hesitant to lean into that change was there was a level of loneliness there. You weren't sure if you could go it alone. Maybe you didn't feel that you would have the support that you were looking for or needing, making the changes that you needed to make. And yet by you trying, you surprised yourself, and did find the support that you were needing. It just kind of came from a different source, something that you wouldn't have expected. And a lot of it had come from yourself, right? So it's almost like you were learning to become a better partner to you, learning how to be in better service to yourself. Because one of the things is that you may have been overgiving in the past, and this is part of the transformation that you were going through, is learning how to create that balance for yourself where yes, you put yourself first, but don't overgive at the same time, right? So one of the things I always tell people when this same message kind of comes up for them is, if you feel like, if you're saying yes out of obligation, then that should probably be a no, right? But because if you don't have the capacity, then how can you give from a place of love? Then you're not honestly giving, right? So that's my rule of thumb, because I used to overgive a lot, and I think to a degree I still do, but it is something that I do use to check on myself and say, let me pause before I say yes and ask myself, is this something that I want to do? Am I willing to do it because I can, because I have the capacity for it, I have the energy for it, and I genuinely want to? Or am I only saying yes or feeling compelled to say yes because I feel obligated, like I have to, right? So that's one thing that you can ask yourself when you're in those moments. So I'm going to pull a few more oracle cards to kind of help identify what else you need to release before entering into 2022. Ooh, surrender your belief in scarcity. Surrender to spirit. And surrender to the wisdom to your body. So interesting. So basically this kind of summarizes everything that I had just said, in correlation to these things that you're needing to or working to release, right? So with the change, you're being reminded to let go of any beliefs of scarcity, that you are an abundant person, that yes, change is a part of life, right? Here in this card, it says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So instead of thinking about what you are losing from the change, think about how much room you're making to create, to invite something new, to grow into something more. So it's about shifting that mindset from scarcity to abundance. And then for loneliness, it says to surrender to spirit, right? So that's kind of reminding you of your own power, that you yourself are an infinite divine being inhabiting a human body, having a human experience. And so once you've done everything that you can, you just have to kind of let the rest fall into place. We can't control everything, right? And we can't control everyone. We can only control the actions that we take, the choices that we make, and then the rest you just kind of have to trust in things working out the way they're meant to, and trusting in your decisions, right? And then lastly, with service, you're getting to the surrender to the wisdom of your body. And basically that's a bit of what I just explained earlier, my little rule of thumb, where it says right here, listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. So those are your messages for closing out 2021. Now let's clean this up and pull some cards for 2022. All right, so let's pull a main card for your main focus in 2022. So what life area will be your main focus for 2022? Ooh, so you've got the 12th house. That is the the area of secrets, or the house of secrets or transcendence. It's almost, so this is, the 12th house is towards the end of, it's like the house of Pisces. So it reminds me of Pisces season, and how it's just the end of the astrological cycle. So I feel like 2021 kind of prepared you for what 2022 is gonna be. It's just a kind of a continuation, cutting, I guess, ironing out the details, cutting out loose ends, things that realizations that you had in 2021, you're now going to bring into effect in 2022. So it's like you had to come to terms with the changes in 2021, and now 2022, you're going to bring those changes. You're going to make the changes that you're wanting to, or needing to, or feel called to make, because you're closing out a major cycle. So let's pull a card for what may be challenging you in 2022, and then what may be supporting you, the highlight of 2022. Okay, so what is challenging you in 2022 is the Hermit, and that may be, okay, so you already went through this in 2021. You went through a deep cleansing and purging to kind of get that clarity that you need, right? And so in 2022, this may kind of come into play again with the Hermit, where you may be overthinking it. Okay, so do your best to honor how you feel. Listen to the thoughts that your anxiety may be trying to share with you, because that is kind of our defense mechanism to survive, right? So you don't want to ignore it. You don't want to neglect your feelings. You don't want to neglect your thoughts. But after you've allowed them to have their stage to share, reel it back in with something that can enable you to be constructive about it, right? As long as it doesn't, try to avoid falling into that rabbit hole of self-destruction and overthinking. And I think you're going to find a way to do that, because for your highlight, for your supportive energy, is the Justice card. So this is that check and balance within you. So because of the work that you did in 2021, and even maybe starting from 2020, you're a little bit more aware of yourself, where you are going to check yourself more often here using with this Justice card energy. So even though you do have the tendency to maybe overthink, at least now you're more aware of yourself, where you can kind of pause and observe that you're doing that and then shift that energy. Yeah, so if this resonated for you, Aries, there is an extended where we take a deeper look into this 2022 energy and explore how they might influence aspects of your life and peek into the energy of each month of the year. So if you like to continue on to the extended, the link to access it is in the description box below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the bell to get notified when new readings are posted. All right, Aries, I am wishing you a prosperous new year. Bye.